player tonight is Emily. I'm Jordana here in the studio with Frank, and we're about to jump feet first into the most intense soup competition in the world. Emily's putting together her dipping bowl, a nice helping of garlic, and then you've got scallions and cilantro.
Lots of greens.
Next, the fresh chili pepper. The fresh can really make a difference.
Yeah, I like the oil and vinegar.
That's a winning combination, I hear. Quality oil is the mark of a quality hot bowl match.
She's skipping the salt and the MSG.
Those are key flavors for some players. Every player needs to have their own bowl. And the meatballs are in. Let's get started. It's a humid night around the boiling table tonight, and our contestant Emily is preparing for a round of individual gastric gymnastics. What do you think about the dipping bowl she's put together tonight, Roger?
Classic Emily. Just the basics, plenty of garlic.
That bowl is so important. Oh, she's putting the turnips in. Radishes, I believe we call those.
Yeah, no.
What's going on here? She's indecisive. Not a good start.
Good. Come on.
What?
This is a mess.
Oh, chopstick fumble.
All right, we're in. We got one in.
Okay. She's a little rusty. This is her first match back since January, and you can really see that in her chopstick work. A little overconfident working that daikon slice, and it's just, you hate to see that so early on.
There's a lot of concentration in the eyes.
I hope she can recover, but this looks bad.
What? Meatball?
Oh, the meatball. That's quite early for a meatball.
She's gonna get worms.
But look at that form. With that cucumber there, I think she's got there.
Crisp. She likes them crisp.
It can be difficult sometimes to get a good grip, but she's done it.
Yeah.
All right.
So was that the first bite?
That might be. Look at that chew.
No, she's looking around. Oh, the greens are in.
We've got the broccoli.
One.
Okay.
Oh, one. And two into the hot.
So, wow. As far as vegetables go, she loves the cucumber. But let's remind our viewers that we've also got daikon, radish, and broccoli on the table. Can I tell you about broccoli?
Tell me about broccoli.
Dark green in color with little bristles, broccoli most closely resembles baby trees. It's a perfect hot pot vegetable, but it's not traditionally part of the Chinese cuisine. In fact, the Chinese name for broccoli reflects this. 𝗖𝗵адц, West flower.
Almost interesting.
There are other foods this happens with too. Another item on the table, in fact, watermelon. 𝗖𝗵адц, that's West melon. Not featured tonight, but definitely one of Emily's faves, is tomato. 𝗖𝗵tože, West red shirt. I'm not sure what that last one says.
Shirt?
Yeah, West red shirt. That's tomato.
All right.
If I may remind you, I think Emily came up in the Chuan leagues. Upon her first arrival in China, she was a major player in the minor leagues for a few years. Chuan is the same spice levels. Do you think so?
Well, judging by that grasp of the napkin.
Emily is a tough stomach. On the other hand, in Chuan, all the food is on skewers, so that dexterity, that chopstick movement, just isn't that important. So Emily has the potential to be a little weak on chopstick fundamentals, as we've seen tonight. Although that's a pretty nice grip there. Looks like she's going for a meatball. Let's see how this plays out.
She needs to stop talking and start feeding.
There is something to be said before letting your food cool and letting the oil drip off. You've got to fill that time with something, I think.
And the air as it hits the mouth. The oxidant thing. Help me out.
Certainly, Terry. Another thing about Chuan versus hot pot is that the game of skewers is generally played outdoors. They're not outdoors tonight, Terry.
No.
Certainly. Chuan is definitely a more rugged environment. It's the kind of place you're likely to see a one-armed monkey out for a stroll. And you know what they say, never pet that one-armed monkey.
Just take a picture.
But that means our girl is strong and hard to distract.
And snotty.
That's always been an issue.
A lot of mucus.
But I've seen Emily snag a marinated beef slice with 30 babies hanging off of her.
Right out of the air.
When she's in that zone, it's something to see.
I'd like to see it.
All right, we're going to take a short break here to bring you a message about one of our favorite eating places in the world. Where in the world is that pub? In Thailand, of course. Drinks, snacks, and the most authentic Western food. It's all there. Get your good old American-style barbecue at the Smoking Pub in Bangkok. And welcome back to the action. Emily spotted a fan over there.
Yeah, they love her.
And she's so gracious too, a champion of the people. She's spoken publicly, about her overall strategy, Irma.
She loves speaking public.
She plays a game of intervals. Let me tell you about this. Meatball, veg, tofu, root vegetable. That makes up a basic set. There are sprouts, she likes to disperse them throughout, but the basic set is that quadrangle.
Sprouts.
If there are sprouts. But meatball, veg, tofu, root vegetable, rest and repeat. All night until you bring it home.
All the way.
I've heard her say it maximizes that all-important flavor and texture dispersal throughout the game. There's a temptation for newer players to scoop up all those meatballs at once.
Gets prickly.
But she's careful. She's careful. There she goes for that radish.
See it flop in the wind?
Yeah.
Those are really thin.
It looks hot. She tends to go for it hot, but I hate to see the roof of her mouth.
Yeah.
You don't eat hot pot as many times as Emily has and not get a sense of the timing. With the radish, look at the stats. It's 1 out, 1 in.
1 out, 1 in. Got it.
Yeah. Cucumbers, on the other hand, she's got her preference. She likes them soft. 2 out, 2 in, and she just lets them sit. She'll go until they're falling apart, really. It's daring play.
I've seen it.
It's daring play.
She's a daring gal.
She is. Where's she going now?
She's going to the table. All right,
Okay,
what?
I see some watermelon happening here.
It's so refreshing.
It's a soothing counterpoint to all that spice. All right.
Oh. Oh. Bone.
Yeah.
She's got a bone.
This is a strange technique here. I believe those are seeds. Watermelons classically don't have bones. If this was Tron, she could spit them on the floor.
This is a very classy arena.
Yeah, hot pot is generally played to a higher standard of civility. But hot pot is also a game. There's no wrong way to eat it.
There's no right way to eat it.
What can you tell me about this pot, Harold?
This one in particular, well, it's bisected. Go.
Yeah, I believe they call it a yuan-yuan-go. A pot with 2 flavors, spicy and non-spicy.
I'm not spicy.
This one here, of course, has the mild broth right in the middle, but sometimes you'll see these pots with a wavy split down the center line. That's her nose. It looks like a yin-yang, someone once told me, but the Chinese word for yin-yang is yin-yang. How it became yuan-yang is a mystery lost to the vagaries of time, I'm afraid. There's absolutely no way to know.
She's reaching way to the other side there.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder what it is.
She's digging deep.
Another turnip?
We're putting a lot of food in that bowl right now.
It gets dangerous because it can just shoot right back up into your eye.
Yeah. All right, I believe she's wrestling with a meatball there. Oh, no.
That's
no.
much bigger, much.
Broccoli, I see. There we go, 1 in, 1 out, 1 in.
It's
Yeah.
that interval.
She's got that pattern, But she's still digging away. She's digging deep in that bowl, as deep as the ocean. As deep as 𝗣𝘂𝗶𝗴𝗴, as they say. All right, what is she looking for?
I don't know. Maybe she's dropped a ring or a...
Oh, that is a meatball. Look at
that.
that. Look at that near perfect extraction.
It's got a glaze. A little broccoli in there.
The radishes and cucumbers are flying fast and furious tonight. They'll still have to soak in Emily's dipping bowl, both to cool down and absorb some of that flavors.
Sometimes she makes a really quick stay in the bowl, though.
That's true. She's impatient. Let's take a pause here for another Eating Place message. We'll have ongoing coverage. Have you had a grilled cheese yet today? Come on down to Eckhart's Luncheonette, an American restaurant actually in America. Simple food in the heart of the Hamptons. You'll be glad you did. Welcome back to Hot Bowl, the meal of emperors and soldiers.
Janice, it takes a brave soul to eat from one's own head.
Yeah, well, I believe what you're referring to there is the practice of soldiers cooking hot pot in their own helmets in the woods, I believe. Some lady told us that once. Sounds true.
From olden days.
Yeah. After a shaky start this evening, Emily is back in good form, I believe.
She's got a mess all over her.
Oh, no! What happened there? We missed the whole splash.
She's covered it up nicely, though.
Yeah. Oh, holy biscuits. You have a momentary lapse in concentration and it's all over.
Well, she's cleaned up nicely. She usually does.
She's back to it. I admire that perseverance. I wonder if she's thinking about that pre-treater.
She's thinking about some kind of solvent for her shirt.
You've got to keep going, though. The washing machine is for later. You know what I miss?
Yes.
It's the beef carpaccio.
Oh, thin.
Served on a bed of ice on the back of a dragon, and it was such a staple of the game in the early 20
look.
teens.
Something's gone down.
She is having trouble.
Look at her rocks.
You can see when she fiddles with that napkin, she's got something on her mind.
What's she hiding?
Probably so.
She's having a seizure. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, she's gesticulating like a maniac.
Well, she's got the spice in it.
We're about at the midpoint of the game, so let's check in on how Emily's done so far.
Okay.
Her pacing has been on point for the most part. I count 5 meatballs, which is a little high for this point in the meal. But her vegetable work has been solid.
Mm-hmm.
And
Would you say as solid as her meat?
I think a little more solid on the vegetables than the meatballs. It has been a bit of a rough night, though. We had a chopstick fumble right out of the gate, and that splash we just saw. Devastating to watch.
She's going to be cleaning that up for days.
4 days. But it's time for another eating place break. If you're going to be eating dumplings in a dark cave, do it at the Egg Bar. Not everyone can make dumplings, and fewer still can make them well. Egg Bar. You're in China. Get it. Thanks for coming back. We're in the back half of the hot bowl and the flames are rising.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at Emily's face, David. She is red.
Yeah, how's she gonna? Oh, that's how.
Watermelon.
Electrolytes.
It seems like she's out of tea, actually. Americans in the game, they need beverage. Chinese players, it's well known, can go without. But Americans, she's out of tea. But I believe what we're watching is called the watermelon alley-oop.
Tui.
A watermelon alley-oop using your fruit, your succulent fruit,
Look at her sucking.
instead of your tea to quench your thirst.
Like an animal. Look.
You know, she could ask for more tea. This is hot pot, not chuan chuan. You got service, more broth, more tea, more napkins.
What's she looking at?
She's not looking at that waitress. Usually in Chinese, she's quite bold, abrupt even. But you know, Emily's actually quite a shy person. As an English speaker, she prefers not to.
She hates English.
But it usually doesn't affect her game like this. If she's in a bad way, she might be having trouble switching languages.
She's got the prickly spices. What's going on, I bet?
This could be a disaster.
We're really close to the end, too, so she's gonna have to pull through.
Let's take a moment for the napkin count, brought to you by Tissues.
Napkin.
For when you're dirty and don't want to be. The napkin count, brought to you by Tissues, is 12. Emily always has been a heavy napkin user. She's a mess, frankly. Runny nose, chopstick drips. She can lick dabs. The thing about dabs is after a certain point, you're just rubbing that hot oil into your skin. And that is one painful facial.
Look at the oil itself. It's really getting down.
But she's not getting down. And spitting, that's a peppercorn.
Ooh. See, if you ever bite into one of those, you'll know. But look at the bowl. It's almost got a film, like a spicy pudding skin.
She's got that oil buildup for sure. And that's got to be packing extra heat.
She could use some foam.
She could use some tongue, and that bowl is boiling down. You can see along the sides there, we've got a little bit of substance. That's pure heat.
A lot of crust.
That sludge on the sides, oh, you gotta stay away from it. You know, Emily's been a little inconsistent this evening for sure, but actually I think we're watching a portrait in grace.
I think she's looking out at the crowd, hoping to get something to help her pull through.
That's when you're in a low point. The people are what motivates you.
I love cheerleaders.
But watch her face. From time to time, we get that vacant stare, that 5,000 yards of spice.
Like she's empty inside.
But underneath all that sweat and snot and oil, she's still smiling, Dorian. She's a hero, I think.
Is she?
She's taking small bites and going slowly, but she's still going.
Up.
The big pieces are hard. All right, at this point in the game, Emily is getting very messy.
And tired.
But let's take one last pause in the action for a brief word from our flagship sponsor, 𝗣𝗵𝐴 Studios.
Pause.
Hello, fellow foreigners, wherever you are. Get out your subscription finger.
Stab the dislike button if I ever explain anything.
If you watch our videos closely, we want to be important. So subscribe today.
You have indoor heating in America, yes?
I get enough of that in the kindergarten trenches. And the same for the year after that.
My name's Milan.
When dads speak English, just give me that sticker.
Gotcha.
Tell them to subscribe. Tote bags. Look at it. You're the one who needs to be welcomed. It worked.
And we're back. If you're just joining us, we're watching A Woman Eats Soup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost over. You know, I have to admire her perseverance. She's had a rough night, but she's still going.
Yep, she is.
You can see how she's struggling to keep those chopsticks right.
Like I'm struggling to keep my eyes open.
At this stage in the game, she's been patting that area between her nose and her lips. It's a channel of fire by now.
I bet she's chapped.
That's where that hot oil really builds up and burns you down.
Oh, click, click, click.
Weaker contestants would have put down those sticks by now, but she's not backing down.
She's like a puppet master.
What keeps her going? In this moment, what could she be thinking of?
Laundry?
Can anyone really ever know what another person is thinking? Wasn't it the Polish writer Stanislaw Lem who posited that true communication is impossible? Although he might have been talking about aliens, Magnus. We're all aliens to someone, though. Well, our match here is winding down, and in an absolute Rapunzel story, I believe we are watching the greatest comeback of all time.
I just wish she would let down her hair.
She keeps going. She's got no hair to give, but we've had fumbles, we've had splashes, but she's approaching the finish line with grace and style.
That's a slight nibble.
A slight nibble. Dare I say it, I think that watermelon gambit worked. I'd never seen that before in the history of Hot Bowl. She made a fruit soother to keep her going.
Fruit soother.
All that's left to do is bring it on home. She's done her best, and she can be proud to call herself an eating place eater. You know, eating places can be found all over the world, Devondra.
Like where?
Every culture has a word for food, and all people eat.
Except for sick people.
Are you getting bored of watching this?
Nope.
Come on, she's been eating for days. I'm out of anecdotes, and I've even used the fairy tale metaphor.
It's just getting better for me.
You're a stronger man than I am.
Not as strong as her, look at that. Oh, I think she's gonna be sick.
You know, it's criminal to make us watch someone eat and not provide snacks. We should have brought snacks.
No one likes to listen to eating.
That's true. Well, I guess whatever, we should wrap this up. Looks like she's done.
She's going back in for something, but
I think this is an assist. She's
Oh,
gone in the
oh.
non-spicy to help out her eating companion.
he's always been known as very generous.
She is so generous. Look at that poise as our champion takes her final bites. She's still holding her head up high. She knows she's done well.
I'm wondering about the scoring, though.
Well, in a topsy-turvy world where all we've got is each other, the simplicity of the game can mean so much.
I guess we're all winners.
That was it, folks. The last bite. Play has concluded.
Oh boy.
She's gonna feel that tomorrow.
I'm feeling it now.
But all that remains is for me, on behalf of Wilfred and myself and all of us here at 𝗣𝗂𝗶𝗴 Sports, is to say goodnight. You know what she's thinking?
Yes.
None of this is real.